Yo, Headspaces, what's up? We live and direct today. Different scenery. We live from the power talks happening at the Atheneum. Still Quebec. I'm sitting here with somebody who's been blazing for quite a long minute in the graff scene. If you don't know him, the work is self-introductory, but I have to introduce. I'm right next to Mook Lion, right?
Yeah.
Am I saying that right? Because you know, with hip hop.
Nah, you got it. Yeah. Bang on, perfect.
Okay, no doubt. For those who aren't familiar with your work, I just kind of want you to tell us a little bit about where you're from and what started the whole path with graff.
So I'm born in Jersey, but you can say I'm a Durban boy because I grew up and I spent most of my life in Durban. But right now I'm based in Makanda, in the Eastern Cape. So I've been in Eastern Cape now about 2.5, 3 years.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a new terrain for me.
Yeah.
I started off doing graffiti, just a friend of mine, I think he went to Cape Town and he saw like some big artists like Faith 47, Falco. He saw them working and it captured his imagination. And he contacted me, he phoned me, he's like, hey bro, we have to do graffiti, this is the thing. And yeah, we started off as most graffiti writers, start off just running around the neighborhood, catching tags, you know, just quick, just getting up, and then we developed and grew. Eventually I decided to study fine art at Durban University of Technology. At the same time I was still doing graffiti, like traditional hardcore style graffiti, and then as I continued studying I tried to like blend the energy and the publicness of graffiti with the aesthetic and the concept of fine art. So that's kind of where I'm at today.
That's cool. That's cool. we're at the power talks, so I'm gonna like go straight to it. As a graff writer, as a visual artist, what does power mean to you?
So I think that's really the part that tends to capture people is the realization of the power that you possess in your hand and the power that you have to shift the aesthetic of the public space that you live in, right? You can go out at night and you can put your message or your name or whatever it is in the public space, and it's a powerful thing. And so I guess a lot of people get kind of addicted to that sensation. So there could be like a negative side to that, like an egotistical side. You understand? So it's a matter of understanding that and also controlling that. So now. Like the point is to try and use that power in a progressive way.
Okay.
And not in a selfish way.
I love that.
But now and again, the selfish, you keep the selfishness, you know, just to keep the energy up.
Just to keep the ego alive. Because I mean, at the end of the day, if you don't think you're the shit, it can't really be moving like that. But you mentioned a powerful word, progressive. And where do you see that progress in your work? How do you see yourself progressing as an artist? How do you judge your own progress?
So, sure, we always strive for progress. Sometimes it doesn't feel as evident as we would hope, you know? Sometimes you look back on things you've done in the past and you wonder if you are progressing at all. But yeah, it's just a constant pursuit, I guess, to try and progress and to have that vision of trying to progress. But it's also, to me, it's also about trying to progress South Africa, the place we live in, you know, try and progress the way we treat each other, and the way we interact with each other, and the way we interact with the city and the public space as well. So that's also the kind of progress that I'm trying to go for. But also to obviously progress technically and in terms of the message as well.
You touch on progressing South Africa. I guess lastly, I would want to ask, what kind of things about being a South African inform your visual artwork? Like what kind of images, aesthetic, lifestyles? What are the things about being South African, being from Durban, migrating, living in Makanda, being in the Eastern Cape? Just basically the whole experience of being a South African, because our podcast is really about embracing what we have in this country. So I think it would be a really interesting question even for our subscribers of where do you source your inspiration as a South African?
Yeah, man, South Africa is a fascinating place, and I think our public space is quite unique, or it's dynamic, you know, the way a lot of people use the public space in their own way, and I guess I'm inspired by that, you know. For instance, like informal trade, you know, people when they intervene, you know, like a hair salon, people just kind of claim public space and use it for their own. That inspires me. The other thing that inspires me is like there's a lot of negativity in the public space in South Africa. You know, you got all the big walls and the barbed wire fences and security, and we've got all this racial and class tension. You know, we've got all these inequalities, and so I guess that inspires me to try and shift that and to try and you know, connect people, and try and make things less rigid and less divided, I guess.
Cool. I love that. I love that.
One thing that I wanted to ask you, you remember off camera when we were talking outside, and you were saying, people were saying you probably just because you were using another you were using a chalk, and people were judging you on that is not hip hop as a graph artist. What do you want to say about that?
Yeah, so I mean, like my introduction into this whole thing comes from graffiti, traditional graffiti.
Yes.
You're a graffiti writer, and you're more about swagger and style and writing your name up aggressively. But then I've also got that fine art side where you're more conscious of the way that you know, what you're trying to say, or how does your work come across. So now, like when I'm doing like this is like a mural fine art thing, you know, it's nothing illegal that I'm doing, I'm getting paid to do it. So that's why I like to use different techniques, you know, from fine art, using my spirit level, using my grit, using my chalk.
The time and the precision you wouldn't have in the streets.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a matter of using what's appropriate at the time. And not being held back by these old traditions. It's good to pay homage to the traditions and to not forget them, but not to be restricted by them.
Yeah, no doubt. Mook Lion, my brother, thank you so much for giving us a minute of your time. We'll definitely be showcasing aspects of that mural as it develops. We've got, I mean, I'm sure you're online, people can check you out.
Yeah, Mook Lion, at Mook Lion.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's definitely on Instagram, Facebook. But the website is on the plan, but Instagram is probably the easiest one.
No doubt, we'll definitely have all of that. And thank you so much, brother, for your time. It's been the Headspace. Once again, we're live at the Power Talks. We've been talking power, empowerment through graph, through the lens of visual art, and I learned a lot. Thank you so much, Mook.
Pleasure.
Yeah, thanks, man.